It has been around 2 weeks since I upgraded from my old Basilisk V3 to the new Viper V4 Pro, and I wanted to share with you my initial impressions of the mouse as well as kinda compare to what I've previously had, and that might help you decide whether or not it might be worth for you to upgrade as well. Starting with the most painful point, the mouse is expensive. I got mine for 180 euros on Amazon, and at this price it is considered a premium high-end product for gaming, so it really must deliver. At least a good thing about it is that unlike the Logitech Super Strike mouse, this one you can actually buy right now and not wait months for your pre-order. For what I can see online, there is no problem with availability, and I hope that with more time the price will drop even further. So what do you get for the money? You get Razer's new Gen 3 Focus Pro 50K optical sensor capable of the meaningless 50,000 dpi. You get also the new Gen 4 optical mouse switches that are rated for 100 million clicks and sound absolutely horrible, but I must say perform really well. You also get an optical mouse wheel that Razer claims is 3.3 times more reliable than the mechanical designs, which I honestly believe, since with my older Basilisk I would quite often end up jumping in the middle of a Counter-Strike fight, and I find myself wanting to put that mouse through the closest wall, which thankfully has not happened so far on the new Viper. And of course you get top of the line polling performance with the ability to go up to 8000 Hz. Lastly, but certainly not least, what might be the biggest jump since the last Viper model, and something that this mouse in general pulls ahead compared to the other top-of-the-line mice in 2026, is battery life. Razer claims up to 180 hours of work on 1000 Hz and 45 hours of straight work on 8000 Hz. What is cool about this is that in Synapse you can have the option to dynamically switch to 8000 Hz when you're playing a game, and as soon as you tab out, it can go back to 1000 Hz, saving you that precious battery life. Another improvement in the V4 Pro compared to the last gen V3 is frame sync, which from what I can see online means that the data sent from the sensor now is synced with the polling rate of the mouse, and that in turn should result in more accurate and smooth movement. This isn't something that I can easily feel and report back on while using the mouse, but it definitely doesn't feel like a downside, so I'm happy to have it. All of this sweet cutting edge tech is packaged in what might be the best shape in the market right now, though mice shapes in general are purely personal preference, and the whole thing weighs only 49 grams if you get the black one, or 50 grams for the white variant. Let me tell you, coming from my old Basilisk V3 X Hyperspeed, getting all of those upgrades felt huge. I might be still in the honeymoon phase, but I seriously love this thing. And switching back to my old mouse for getting clips for this video really showed me how much more I like and appreciate the new Viper V4 Pro. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I can feel the speed advantage of the 8000 Hz or the 50,000 dpi sensor, because that would be a lie. Even though repeatedly testing my reaction time on the human benchmark, I did see that my reaction time was a bit faster with the Viper. What I really feel, however, is the fact that this shape fits my playstyle more, and the weight difference is astronomical. If you asked me a few years ago, I would have told you that weight savings in mice in general makes no sense, because no matter how heavy it is still a mouse that you can easily move. However, switching from the 110 gram Basilisk to the 49 gram Viper, combined with the smaller profile, made playing with the Viper feel super effortless, and after a while, you forget what you're holding. While with my old mouse, I would occasionally find myself readjusting my hand, and occasionally even think about my next mouse movement. Switching was also absolutely no problem, since I could copy my settings over in Synapse and the mouse sensitivity felt the same. You even have this cool option where you can put any mouse you want to mimic the movement of next to the Viper and recalibrate it. But I have not tested that since everything worked well for me out of the box. You also have this tilt adjusting feature, which can be useful for some people that tend to hold their mouse at a constant angle. This is supposed to recalibrate the movement to take that into account and make your movements straighter. However, I find that I prefer not fiddling with any software adjustments of my movement itself and let my brain do the adjustment. Same goes for the dynamic sensitivity. I have no idea why anyone would use that. It is basically the Windows accelerated mouse pointer precision setting, but built into your mouse. So at the end, what's my verdict? I would say the Razer Viper V4 is a solid mouse, delivering probably the best performance on the market right now. However, it is at a steep price. For 180 euros, I would have loved to also get to try the inductive trigger technology that Logitech have, because I think that paired with the rest of this mouse would make the ultimate beast. However, I guess we have to wait a little longer for that to also come to the Razer platform. Unless of course they decide that this is a fad and in general never bother to do it. In any case, if you're sitting on something a bit older than the Viper V3 or generally on a heavy or a weirdly shaped mouse and you're looking to upgrade, you will not be disappointed. But if you're happy with the mouse you currently have or don't even really play FPS games that much, maybe skip this one and wait for hits to arrive on the Razer mice, or simply go for something cheaper, maybe not even a Razer mouse. For me personally, I'm already walked in the Razer ecosystem and I don't want to walk away now. Mainly for my mouse, I like using the sensitivity quench option in Synapse that allows me to dynamically switch DPI while holding down a button on my keyboard. And then as soon as I let go of that button, it reverts back to the original DPI. The main thing I use it for is when playing Counter-Strike, I can set a higher DPI for when I press a button so that I could quickly turn around when someone is behind me. But then as soon as I let go of that button, I go back to my wall sensitivity where I'm way more precise. Anyways, that's about it for this video. If you would like to see a longer clip of me using the new Viper V4 Pro in an actual game, you can check out my other video where I made right after I received the new mouse and I tested it in a 25k premiere match. There, since it's my first time using the mouse, you actually see my unfiltered opinion of it as I go. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next one.